Hey, friends! This time we're taking a look at Robert Altman's Popeye from 1980. Now my good friend Michael, one of my viewers, he was kind enough to send me this here Blu-ray off of my wish list. Thanks, man! I haven't seen this film in years. And even then, I think it was on VHS Pan and Scan. I vaguely remember when this movie came out, and reviews at the time were mixed, but then I remember kinda liking it. Oh, and it turns out it's a musical, too! I forgot that. So does it hold up, or what? Let's find out, shall we? Our story goes like this. One morning, Popeye rose into the seaside town of Sweethaven. He's looking for his long-lost pappy. This town is full of wacky characters and are beset by a local bully, Bluto, an enforcer for a mysterious Commodore who is never seen but runs everything. Along the way, he meets Olive Oil and becomes Bluto's rival for her affections. Sweet Pea and Wimpy are also present and correct. Can Popeye the Sailor-Man find his pappy? Will he win the heart of Olive Oil? And who is the mysterious Commodore? In our cast, we have Robin Williams, of course, and don't really have to tell you about him. He had rocketed to stardom with the sitcom Mork and Mindy. Popeye was his film debut. He's really good as Popeye. And Shelley Duvall is here as Olive Oil. There was no one else on Earth more suited to play Olive Oil than Duvall. Other names were floated for the role. Gilda Radner was one, but I think she might have been too short. Olive is this tall beanpole, right? Lily Tomlin was also suggested, and she might have been interesting, but Altman held out for Duvall, and how right he was, too. She is perfect here and owns this role. In early scenes, she doesn't quite have the voice yet, but she works into it right away, and she's Olive Oil come to life. She does all of her own singing in the film, too. A really wonderful turn. Ray Walston plays Pappy, and he's just as good as Williams, a real delight. Paul L. Smith plays perennial Popeye villain Bluto. He was in Dune, Red Sonja, just lots of stuff, so he's familiar. He's a really good Bluto. He doesn't have the cartoon voice, but he's a good Bluto anyway. You'll recognize Donald Moffat. He plays the shady tax collector. Paul Dooley plays the hamburger-mooching Wimpy. He's been in a metric ton of things on TV and in films. He was the dad in Breaking Away. He played Claude in Strange Brew, and was the voice of Sarge in the Cars movies from Pixar. Dennis Franz pops up, from NYPD Blue. He's here as one of a gang of local ruffians. Also having a film debut in this picture was Linda Hunt. She appeared in lots of things after Popeye, like Silverado, as well as this thing, a TV series called Space Rangers. Remember that? Oh man, one of those shows with so much potential and yet so badly executed. I own the DVD! And finally, we have voice actor Jack Mercer. Mercer was the voice of Popeye in the cartoons, and he has a sort of voice cameo in the opening credits, which was a lovely touch, especially considering this was his last acting role before he passed away. Many of the side characters and extras in this film were circus performers or vaudevillian types who could do fun stunts and physical tricks, which we get to see throughout the picture. The bizarre German expressionist-looking set they constructed for the town of Sweethaven still exists. Locals took it over after production wrapped, and they turned it into a sort of Popeye theme park, which is surprising because exterior sets are not really meant to be permanent structures. Last year, during a big storm, a boulder washed down the hill and smashed one of the buildings. I assume they'll just put it back up, but anyway, if you happen to be in Malta, why not stop by and see the place for yourself? Popeye was beset with delays when weather in Malta turned bad, adding an extra month to the production schedule. This meant a cost overrun as well. Then the producer got pinched for trying to buy dope. On top of all that, when it came out, many critics panned the movie, and it got the reputation for being a flop, even though it made 3 times its budget back. Altman was given a timeout by studios, and he had to go to Europe to make movies for a while. Honestly, pretty unfair. See, the problem with Popeye most people had at the time was that they felt it did not honor the source material. In fact, it did, and in spades. The movie used to the original source material, the work of E.C. Segar in his comic strip Thimble Theater. But by comparison, the movie only has a passing acquaintance with the cartoons, and the cartoons were what people knew. So in the film, there are all of these side characters no one knows because, well, they weren't in the cartoons. But even so, they have the original voice actor, Mercer, do a vocal cameo, and the Popeye theme song when he fights Bluto at the end, and spinach makes Popeye super duper. And even the mumbling dialogue that was a staple of the early cartoons, man, I always love that, and they do it here. Go on, tough guy, I'll take care of him. So this thing was made with love and respect for what came before, which are 2 of the most important ingredients you simply have to have when doing an adaptation of a beloved legacy franchise. That's why Disney Star Wars and Kurtzman Star Trek have failed dismally. They have all the money in the world to throw at this stuff, but no love and no respect for what came before. These are just products to them, properties they hope to cash in on, and who cares if they get it right, or if they even try. And they wonder why their stuff is reviled, and they blame the audience and call us nasty names. But Popeye, in spite of its reputation when it came out, this movie will always be vastly superior to anything the pretenders and hacks crank out and slap a legacy franchise logo on today. Over the years, the quality of this one has shown through. It became a favorite on home video and cable TV, and now, thankfully, Blu-ray too. So how about it? Well, this movie is really entertaining, well photographed. The set of the town, including half-sunken boats, is amazing. Shelley Duvall and the rest of the cast are wonderful. The score is wonderful, a real throwback to quality times. But if you're into the Popeye cartoons, and that's how you know Popeye, it might not be what you remember. But it may pique your interest in these side characters too. So, all in all, I'm giving Popeye 3 paws up. You take care of yourselves and eat your spinach. And I'll see you in the next one.